Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. Man, you won't believe what's going down in Dallas right now. The rumor mill is absolutely on fire. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you might want to sit down for this one. We're talking about one of the wildest, most shocking potential moves in recent memory. ESPN is going crazy, analysts are debating like their careers depend on it, and fans are in absolute disbelief. Could the Dallas Cowboys really be considering trading Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott? Yes, you heard that right. The heart and soul of this Cowboys team both potentially on the trading block. This is not a drill, this is a franchise-altering situation unfolding before our very eyes. Let's get into it because there's a lot to unpack. So, let's start with where all this chaos is coming from. Reports started surfacing that the Cowboys front office might be looking at a major shakeup, and at first, nobody took it seriously. I mean, it's one thing to talk about making changes, but to actually entertain the idea of moving two of your biggest stars? That's a whole different story. But then, the whispers turned into full-blown speculation when multiple sources started confirming that Dallas is at least listening to offers. And you know what that means: where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Now let's talk about Micah Parsons, because this one is just mind-blowing. This guy isn't just a star, he's a generational talent, the kind of player who doesn't come around often. Parsons has been the backbone of this Cowboys defense since he entered the league, striking fear into every quarterback he lines up against. He's explosive, versatile, and plays with an energy that completely transforms this defense. Losing him would be devastating, no question about it. So why would the Cowboys even think about making this move? Well, it comes down to two things: money and future flexibility. Parsons is due for a massive contract extension soon, and we're talking about a deal that could make him one of the highest-paid defensive players in NFL history. The Cowboys, like every team, have a salary cap to manage, and the front office is probably looking at their long-term picture. Do they want to commit that kind of money to Parsons when they have other holes to fill? That's the real question. But let's be real, trading Micah Parsons would be an incredibly unpopular move. Fans love this guy. He's the kind of player that fills up stadiums and sells jerseys. If Dallas pulls the trigger on a trade, they better be getting an absolute haul in return. And let's not forget, this isn't just about money. If the Cowboys trade Parsons, they'd be signaling a shift in philosophy. Are they really prepared to enter a rebuild? Because that's what moving on from a cornerstone piece like Parsons would suggest. Now, if that wasn't shocking enough, let's talk about Dak Prescott. Now, this one has been brewing for a while. Ever since the Cowboys' playoff struggles continued, there's been a growing number of fans and analysts who believe it's time to move on from Dak. He's a good quarterback, but the debate has always been, is he good enough? Can he get this team over the hump? And most importantly, is he worth the kind of money he's making? Dak's contract is one of the biggest talking points every offseason. He's being paid like an elite quarterback, but the results just haven't matched up when it matters most. Sure, he puts up numbers, he wins regular season games, but when the playoffs roll around, it's a different story. And that's where the frustration comes in. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office have to ask themselves, is Dak the guy who's going to bring a Lombardi trophy back to Dallas? And if they're starting to have doubts, that's when trade talks become a real possibility. But moving on from a franchise quarterback is no small decision. If you trade Dak, you better have a plan. Is it a full rebuild? Are you bringing in a veteran? Are you drafting a rookie and starting fresh? These are the kinds of questions that have to be answered before making a move like this. Because, let's be honest, the Cowboys haven't exactly been known for their patience. Jerry Jones wants to win now. He's not interested in a long, drawn-out rebuild. So if they're seriously considering trading Dak, you better believe they have something big in the works. And let's talk about the reaction to all of this. ESPN analysts are going absolutely wild. You've got guys like Stephen A. Smith laughing at the chaos, Skip Bayless losing his mind, and every NFL insider scrambling to get the latest scoop. Some analysts think the Cowboys would be making a huge mistake by even considering these trades. Others believe it might actually be the right move if they can set themselves up for the future. But one thing's for sure, nobody expected things to get this crazy this offseason. So what could the Cowboys even get in return for these guys? If they do decide to trade Parsons, they'd probably be looking at multiple first-round picks, maybe a top-tier defensive player in return, and possibly even more. This isn't the kind of trade where you just get a couple of draft picks and call it a day. It would have to be a blockbuster deal. And with Dak, the market would be interesting. There are definitely teams out there who would be willing to take a chance on him. A team that feels like they're a quarterback away from contending might be willing to give up significant assets. But again, the Cowboys have to ask themselves, do they have a better option than Dak right now? Because unless you're getting an elite quarterback in return, or setting yourself up to draft one, you might just be making the team worse in the short term. So what's next? Will the Cowboys actually pull the trigger on these trades? Or is this just another round of off-season drama? If there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that Jerry Jones loves to keep people guessing. He thrives on the attention, the headlines, and the speculation. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys have to make a decision that puts them in the best position to win. Trading Parsons and Dak would be a massive gamble, one that could either set them up for future success or send them into a downward spiral. And let's not forget about the fan base. If they move on from these two, especially Parsons, the backlash is going to be enormous. Cowboys fans are some of the most passionate in all of sports, and they're not going to take this lightly. But as wild as this all sounds, nothing is official yet. This could all just be posturing, a way for the Cowboys to test the waters and see what kind of offers are out there. Or maybe it's a sign that they're ready to hit the reset button. Either way, buckle up, because this offseason just got a whole lot more interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should the Cowboys trade Parsons and Dak, or is this the worst idea ever? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more Cowboys news, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay tuned because this story is far from over.